Okay. We'll be starting in a few minutes. I have some background work to finish up. And I will then start talking about the cases. I want to give people a few minutes to get in. And see. I need two. Do. Let's see. Let's see. I need to. Let's see. I'm trying to get the tags in real quick since StreamYard won't let me put them in. If anybody's there, I'll be with you momentarily. All right. Maybe that'll work. Oh, yeah, no, I started a little early. Oh, yes, you're Dottie Daybell. Yeah, I was putting some tags in because, StreamYard doesn't let me put in tags like I think it should when I'm making the video, and it used to pop in a like a scheduled thing that you could go in and edit before you even went live, but obviously something changed and it's not doing that, well, at least for me anymore. So I am soloing this today because Maria decided she needed to get her taxes done. So I figured I'd kind of close up some things we had previously talked about, see what anybody else had to say. StreamYard and Streamlabs should get together and make a beautiful child that does what we need. I agree. I think yes, her paying her taxes is important. It's just she made her appointment so early in the season, kind of interesting. I don't even get the last of my paperwork till pretty close to now, so I have to tell you though, on another subject, since still got a few minutes before we're supposed to start. I can't believe how digging into these Jane Does is like. I have my thing all ready to record now. I made a kind of a PowerPoint presentation, and I don't know, it's just fascinating. So I'm so glad you started that. I actually had an idea of something similar before you started that campaign that I probably will start doing a little later. It does. You're right. It becomes very addicting. Yeah, and last night I missed my live stream I was supposed to do on Twitch last night because my son, God love him, he FaceTimed me, which doesn't normally happen. Usually I am accidentally hitting the FaceTime button, and we were on FaceTime for 5 hours until he had to go for formation. So that was fun. Spent more money on him, but that's okay too. Yeah. For 5 hours, mind you. It was funny because he was doing things and he was just taking the phone with him. So I got to see him like cleaning out his bladders for his water supply, and he was watching TV. He was playing Mortal Kombat while I was playing World of Warcraft. It was interesting. It's this whole thing is a learning curve right now, but I could get used to having some FaceTime sessions like that. All right, so yeah, we did. He was just like, and it was funny because one of his roommates came in kind of early on while we were talking, and he seemed really nice, and he just got in the bed and he was wanting to take a nap before they went to formation. And his other roommate was out, and when he came in, he's one that has been inappropriate in front of me before, and my son did not care for that, and had to talk with him about it. Well, he didn't know that we were FaceTiming, so he came in and he's cussing and talking about something, and about 5 minutes in, my son was like, man, you know I'm FaceTiming with my mom, right? and the guy was like, oh, hi, Mom. And I was like, hi. And he says, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I should never have talked about like that in front of you. And I said, it's all right. And he goes, no, it's not all right. I'm really embarrassed. So they must be pounding it in their heads about being respectful to us moms, which I completely love. So, all right. So I guess we will jump into this. So I found a couple of interesting articles. So we have Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow, or, as you like to call her, Dottie. I found this morning. It looks like this article was written last night. Hawaii resident talks about thrift store encounter with Chad Daybell. I thought it was kind of interesting. In Kauai, Hawaii, a Utah native in Hawaii said she was surprised Chad Daybell was willing to share too much about his plans to leave the island when she bumped into him at a thrift store. With extradition arrangements underway for the mother of 2 missing Idaho children, her husband may soon be making his way back to Idaho as well. Sharon Olson told KSL she was at the Shared Blessings thrift shop in Kalau Thursday afternoon when she spotted Daybell. 2 of her children, 7-year-old JJ Vallow and 17-year-old Tylee Ryan have not been seen since September. Daybell has been considered a person of interest in the case. Oh, Shallow Vallow also works? Okay. Olson said she spends a lot of time in Princeville, Kauai, I guess, is how that's said. She never expected to run into Daybell, even more surprised by the exchange that followed. I could hear him say, "Where do I drop off the donation?" Olson said. At that point, I was like, wow, that's Chad Daybell. Speaking from her place in Kauai, Olson shared her unexpected encounter with KSL. "I don't know how I got up the nerve to start up a conversation," Olson said, describing how she approached Daybell as he left the store to unload his car. Olson posted about her experience on Facebook, saying that she had asked him several questions and was surprised that he was very open and candid. He did say he would be leaving the island to support Lori, and he did say he was going to Rexburg, Olson said. Olson said she tried to find common ground with Daybell. "He told me that the condo he rented had been sold and that they were getting out of their lease," she said. "I gathered that he would be leaving soon." Daybell has been quiet throughout the investigation into the missing children, only releasing a joint statement with Vallow through his attorney in late December. "Chad Daybell was a loving husband and has the support of his children in this matter. Lori Daybell is a devoted mother and resents assertions to the contrary," the statement said. "We look forward to addressing the allegations once they have moved beyond speculation and rumor." Although Daybell was not in court for Vallow's Wednesday hearing, Kauai authorities confirmed he was allowed 1-hour visit with her the day before. "I said, 'Oh, hey, I noticed you weren't at court.' And he said, 'Yeah, it's a media circus,'" Olson said. Olson said she didn't get a good glimpse of the items donated, but snapped a picture of Daybell's vehicle. "He did have more donations than he could carry in his hands because I did watch him back up his SUV around the back of the building and unload whatever he was donating," Olson said. The vehicle was different than the black Ford Explorer rental car that was searched by detectives in January. Olson said after the encounter she reached out to Kauai detectives to inform them about the exchange. "They just wanted to know if there were children's clothing donated or anything like that. I informed them that I didn't actually work there and I didn't see it," Olson said. Olson said her biggest concern was for the missing children. "The most gutsy question that I dared ask was, couldn't Lori just get out of jail if she simply told where the kids were at? And he just said, 'It's more complicated than that. It's not that easy,'" Olson said. Thrift store managers said their volunteers didn't recognize Daybell while he was dropping off the donations and don't know what he donated because the items were mixed in with other items. In the meantime, officials with the Rexburg Police Department said arrangements for Vallow's extradition were underway. KSL reached out to the couple's Rexburg attorney for comment and did not receive a response. Authorities are still searching for the missing children. So that's kind of crazy, going to a thrift store and running into somebody like that. I was I was a little surprised when I saw that this morning. So Kaz, had you seen that one? It's a shame they can't work out what items are theirs. Nope, not as yet. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Yeah, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out eventually. I don't understand. I don't understand if your kids were fine. I mean, even if you sold them or whatever, I don't know why you wouldn't tell them. Why is it worth going to jail over? So I really don't I don't understand what's going on with that. But I'm sure we will be hearing tons and tons more about that. Okay, so I know I just clicked this one. So, unfortunately, last weekend I did not get to do a live because I had a migraine and I had to get rid of it before I had other plans. I do think that those children are gone to. I hate to think what we're going to find out happened because it all comes out in the end in the wash. So, I found. Obviously, we know that this poor girl was Faye Swetlik was found dead. So I did have an article that I wanted to share from. It's from last week, but unfortunately, like I said, I did not get to talk about this last Saturday because I didn't get to do a live, and I didn't want to skip this Saturday too. Case, South Carolina, the Lexington County coroner released the cause of death Tuesday for Faye Swetlik, the 6-year-old girl found dead Thursday. That was last, before that. In Case, South Carolina, after vanishing from her front yard. Yeah, migraines suck. Coroner Margaret Fisher, who appeared visibly shaken and emotional, told reporters Faye died just a few hours before she was abducted on February 10th. The cause of death was asphyxiation, Fisher said. There are no adequate words to express the depth of our sadness and our sympathy to Faye's parents, Fisher said, adding that her heart breaks for them. I'm so deeply sorry for what you are going through and for the loss of your precious baby girl. No parent should ever have to know such pain, Fisher said. Fisher said no other information about the autopsy would be released by her department until it was necessary for the investigation out of respect for the family. Faye's body was found in the nearby woods Thursday morning, moments before a neighbor was found dead in his home, officials said. Investigators had said they found a clue about her disappearance that morning in the trash can of 30-year-old Cody Taylor. Authorities said the cases are linked by DNA. After the news conference, officials released to the media autopsy results for Taylor. The autopsy concluded that Taylor died by suicide from an incised wound to the neck, according to the coroner. No other information about Taylor was released in the document. Case Public Safety Director Byron Snellgrove told reporters during the news conference that the clues found Thursday morning were of a child's polka dot boot and a soup ladle that had freshly dug dirt in it. So I'm gonna pause right here because I found it interesting that people were talking about the soup ladle being used to bury something. But I have to say, the first time I read about the soup ladle, and I said this to Maria when we were talking about it, and she agreed with me. Like, my first thought went to maybe the child had the soup ladle with her and was digging in the dirt with it. I mean, I don't know. We used to do that as kids. So I don't know that I would have automatically assumed that somebody was trying to, my God, can you imagine using a soup ladle to try to bury anything? That'd be crazy. Snellgrove said he happened to be at the scene at the time of the discovery of these items. He said he called for assistance, and while waiting for the assistance to arrive, he went into the woods behind the townhomes. I located the body of Faye Swetlik, Snellgrove said, pausing as he appeared to hold back tears. About the same time, Snellgrove said officers were notified that a man was bleeding on the back patio of nearby 602 Piccadilly Square, which was Taylor's home. Arriving officers found a man dead at that location, Snellgrove said. The man later was identified as Taylor, but Snellgrove only referred to him as the deceased male during the news conference, which I had to assume was because all of the family hadn't been notified yet. SLED agents immediately collected DNA samples from the 2 crime scenes and inside Taylor's home, according to Snellgrove. That DNA, once tested, connected the unknown pieces of this horrific crime, Snellgrove said. Snellgrove said Taylor was interviewed by police on Wednesday afternoon, calling him cooperative. Now, mind you, this was back, a couple weeks ago. Taylor gave consent to investigators to look through the house, according to Snellgrove. Those agents did not see anything that alerted them to believe that he had knowledge or was in any way involved in Faye's disappearance at that time, Snellgrove said. Evidence in the case led investigators to believe that Taylor abducted and killed Faye, and it appeared he acted alone, Snellgrove said. Evidence further shows that Faye's body was moved during the shadow of night to behind the townhouses where she was found in the early morning hours on Thursday morning under the cover of darkness, Snellgrove said. Snellgrove went on to describe the massive investigation that grew from about 50 officers that day to more than 300 state, local, and federal law enforcement officials. In my 33 years of law enforcement, I have never seen such a large group of officers, investigators, firefighters, and other first responders and staff come together in the way that everyone did here. Nor have I seen federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies come together as a team working around the clock as one unit with one goal to try and bring a little 6-year-old baby girl home, Snellgrove said with his voice breaking. A memorial service was held at Trinity Baptist Church in Case. Dozens of first responders and community members prayed for Faye's family Tuesday night at the Case City Hall. That was such a terribly sad, unfortunately, discovery. Yeah, it's possible she could have been playing with it. It's sad that her family will never know what actually happened. I agree. It is sad. Because he killed himself, but that, unfortunately, when the culprit kills themselves, they don't really tend to ever find out what happens, unless they left some kind of. Yeah, I agree. That is a coward's way out. But I mean, if you're going to get caught, I mean, obviously they'd been to his house and he knew. I mean, he had to know that it was only a matter of time, and I can only imagine that he obviously didn't want to go to jail. We all know what happens to those kind of offenders in jail, at least here, tends to happen a lot. Okay. I did, we all know that this poor child, Gannon Stauch, is still missing. I did find an article that was posted on Thursday night. El Paso County, Colorado, CBS 4. It's been more than 4 weeks since Gannon Stauch was last seen. Now another search effort planned on Friday, which was yesterday, for the property located east of Monument has been postponed. The 11-year-old was first reported missing January 27th after he didn't return home. The search that was supposed to take place on Friday in the area of Highway 105 and Highway 83 has been postponed. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office has spent thousands of staff hours and received more than 800 tips in the case so far. El Paso County Sheriff's spokeswoman Jacqueline Kirby had previously told CBS 4 that the search for Gannon is not classified as a criminal investigation. Gannon was first reported missing on January 27th by his stepmother, Tisa Stauch, who said Gannon left to go to a friend's house in the afternoon. Authorities called him a runaway when it was first asked the public to help finding him. But the sheriff's office announced January 30th that Gannon was considered a missing and endangered child because of the time he had been gone, his age, and his reliance on medication. The FBI and other agencies, including the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, have joined the search for Gannon before search efforts were suspended last Friday. If you see Gannon, please call the El Paso County Sheriff's Office right away at 719-390-5555. Or if you live in the area, you could dial 911. If you have any information that can help in this case, call EPSO's tip line at 719-520-6666 or email shrtips at elpasco.com, elpasco.com. I can't believe they haven't found anything with that they haven't gotten any better leads on this. I really am surprised at how long this search has been on and they haven't found anything. I'm actually kind of stunned because I figured they would have found something much sooner than this. Goodness knows where he is, poor kid. What are your thoughts on the stepmom? Okay, so I am not one who wanted to jump on the attacking her bandwagon or being ultra suspicious of her. I do find it odd that if you say that the kid was homesick, and then you say later on the last time you saw them was that you sent them down to a friend's house or you let them go down to a friend's house, I kind of have an issue with the truth of that because if I've had 2 kids and I still have one that's 14. My other one is grown, but if they stayed home sick from school, or if they were so sick they couldn't do their schoolwork when we started homeschooling them, like they didn't get to go to anything. They didn't get to go to their scout meeting. They didn't get to go to their sports practice. If they were sick, like they were down and out for the rest of the day. So I kind of find that suspicious, unless she was letting him stay home from school just because, and he wasn't really sick, but then I don't know. I kind of am not sure. At first I did not really suspect her, but the longer this goes on and the fact that they're not finding anything, I'm getting a little more suspicious that something happened and she either knows something, she's withholding something, I don't know. But I can't imagine that that they wouldn't have found something or some kind of, okay, well, maybe he was abducted because we found this piece of clothing, or I don't know, something. I'm still unsure, but when people fib, it worries me. Right. Well, I'm hard pressed as a mom to want to accuse right off the bat without any kind of evidence, strong suspicion. I mean, something that logically can lead you in that direction. But I did have a hesitation at the beginning when I first heard about this at the very beginning, when they first news reports were coming out. I was like, okay, he's homesick, okay. And then the last place that she saw him was, he was going down to a friend's house to play or whatever. And I'm like, something about that's not right. Something about that just isn't right. I mean, because I think about Okay, so one of the things that I always worry about is my kids like sneaking out of the house. It's one thing if your kid like snuck out of your house in the middle of the night, and they're missing, and then you have to go to the police and say, "Hey, I can't find my kid, I need help." But if you decided to not tell the truth and say some kind of other fishy story, it's going to make you look guilty of something. Because why not tell them straight up? You're trying to find your kid. Like, you want them to have all the information they can to try to find your kid, because you will do anything in the world to find your kid, especially when he seems to have just gone poof. As I said, I would never say for sure because there's not enough evidence as of yet. Right. That's the other thing too. Kids don't. Well, okay, look at Faye, right? She kind of went poof, right? But they found her very quickly. They had evidence very quickly of something being awry. There's been nothing, and we're talking about from the end of January till now, where tomorrow is the beginning of March. Something is rotten in Denmark, as they say. I don't know that she had anything to do with it, but it could be something like something accidentally happened. Maybe she only knows something and she's not telling them everything. I don't know, but something is going to have to happen, because they're going to have some kind of lead in order to figure out what happened to him, to even know where to look at this point. There's nothing for Gannon, but he's older. Something's not right. I agree. I would hate to say that I think she did something, but I can understand why people would reasonably have a suspicion there, because I don't know of anybody who kept their kids home from school and then let them go play halfway through the day at a friend's house. And was that because it wasn't at the end of the day, right? It was in the afternoon, right? So wouldn't that kid have been at school too? Should have been at school too? I don't know. I just, something's not right. I'm not going to say that, I think she did something, but I do think that something odd is going on, and I don't know that I think that she is 100% helping as much as she can. But, nope, no way. You're too sick to go to school. You're too sick to play. I agree, because how are they going to get better to be able to go to school the next day if you let them go out and play? Yeah, it's not going to happen. Okay, so I have one more, which was interesting, that I came across. I don't watch the news, so I have to look. I have to look. I read online our news stories, right? So a while back, I talked about this local case where one cop was on duty, one cop was off duty, and hi, the Bryan clan, how are you doing? Happy Saturday to you. One cop was off duty, one cop was on duty, and the female cop was shot and killed. So I thought that I would touch up on this article that since this is recent. This was from last night. Agree on the Gannon situation. Don't let my gal go anywhere if she is sick. Right. Well, not only that, you don't want your kid getting other kids sick. I mean, there's just a whole You know, because if everybody sends their kids to school sick, or out to play sick, or out to their scouting meetings sick, all they do is they just spread those germs around circularly until everybody's sick 5 times. Okay, so St. Louis, KMOV.com. 19 people submitted letters to a judge for the trial of Nathan Hendren, the former police officer accused of killing Officer Katlyn Alix while playing a type of Russian roulette. I don't know if you guys remember that story, because it's been a few months, I think, since we last covered it. Hendren was on duty with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department when he and his partner met with Alix at his apartment on January 24th, 2019. Golly, 1919. I'm waking up, still need coffee. Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm not fully awake either. The apartment was not in the same district Hendren and his partner were supposed to be patrolling. Both Hendren and Alix were playing with guns when Hendren produced a revolver, emptied the cylinder, and then put one bullet cartridge back in the cylinder. Hendren then spun the cylinder, pointed the gun away, and pulled the trigger, but it did not fire. Alix then took the gun and pointed it at Hendren and pulled the trigger, but the gun again did not fire. Hendren then took the gun back from Alix and pulled the trigger, shooting Alix in the chest. She later died at the hospital. Friday, Hendren pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter and armed criminal action and was sentenced to 7 years in prison. Yes, the Bryan Clan, 1919. I'm rolling back the clock. Amount those who wrote, I think that's supposed to be among those who wrote letters were Alix's mother, Ami. Why is it we read these articles and we find all these typos? How did their editors not find these typos? Her father, Anthony Mayer, and her brother and sister. I'm Katie Alix's mother, and I was not ready to say goodbye. Parents are not supposed to bury their children. Children are supposed to bury their parents, Whalers said in her statement. Katie was my whole life, and she wasn't just my daughter, she was my best friend. I never made it through a week without seeing her. Katie was the light of my life. She was taken away too soon and by a careless act. Is it wrong that I'm thinking that gun salesman needs a stern talking to? They were cops. They had guns. They were going to have guns. Hi, Snow Remover. And Snow Remover said, at Casbat, hi, I sent you an email to Gmail, I think. The Bryan Clan, no, it's not wrong. Casbat said, oh, thank you, Snow Remover. Hi there. I'm devastated, heartbroken, and lost without her. My life has changed. I no longer am the same person I was. I have to learn how to be a different person and to live a different life without her, Whaler said in her statement. A piece of my heart is gone. When he killed her, he killed all of us too. Our hopes and dreams are no longer there. It is now filled with sorrow and emptiness. I still think and relive January 24th, 2019. I got it right that time. Oh, Snow Remover Nightbot is my best friend. Nightbot is my bot that kind of helps me moderate when none of my mods are here. Let's see. I still think and relive January 24th, 2019 daily. Alix's sister wrote in her statement, I have scars on my heart that will never heal. Many people think the worst part is that they'll never know what happened, but to me, the worst part is never seeing her again. The letters tell of a woman they called radiant and beautiful, and whose life was cut short far too soon. Many also discuss their negative feelings towards Hendon. So, what did they, I guess they put all the statements here maybe. Nope, just the one statement from the mother. LOL, 1919 is like a K-side cover, right? We weren't even alive then. But the good news is, like, none of us, I don't think, that are here right now were alive then. So I guess we'd all be in the same boat. So this is a really sad case, and I mean, I'm glad he pled guilty. I don't know if I think 7 years is enough, but I also don't think it was very responsible for any of the police officers to be playing Russian roulette. I mean, they have so much firearms training. I don't understand. I don't understand why they would do this. I mean, to me, it would be, along the lines of my son who's in the military, who, they're getting all of these guns training and everything. I like them doing it. Would make no sense to me for them to play such a game, knowing that there's a bullet in there, knowing that bullet is eventually going to come up and shoot somebody. When I worked at the DA's office, a detective's gun went off near me. He shot his foot. Snow remover. Never heard of this one. Interesting, just listening. Yeah, this is a local case to me. When it first broke, we talked about it, but there hadn't been much of anything. We hadn't been hearing anything about it. And actually, it's funny because earlier in the week, I had, normally I do this with my friend Maria, and I had told her that, I wonder what happened with that case because we hadn't heard anything, hadn't seen anything. And I said, well, it's probably like everything else with the police department. They probably swept it under the carpet and, try to keep the media from really publishing a bunch about it. And then all of a sudden I saw this article this morning. So that's what I'd have you believe. I keep myself young by eating virgin frogs. Oh, my goodness. At Casbat, LOL, the Brian Clan says, how the heck do you tell them apart, Cas Virgin or used a bit frog, says Snow Remover. The Brian Clan, it was in an office. You know what, the Brian Clan, I would have to say, in all my experience with guns, the only way that firearm was going to go off like that is if they didn't have their safety on. And they should have known better than to not have their safety on. Snow Remover, the virgin frogs wear white socks, says Casbat. Snow Remover, haha. The Brian Clan says white socks. Maybe she means their feet are white. And then they turn half white and half green once they are no longer virgins. But is it all virgin frogs or is it virgin males or females? Doesn't matter. But yeah, I still, this should have never happened because they shouldn't have been playing that game. And I certainly would never blame her for being shot. But it was certainly irresponsible of her to be playing the Russian roulette with, a service revolver. Over here wearing white socks is a sign of a nerd. Oh, well, I guess it's a good thing I started wearing black socks to work except on Fridays, huh? I only wear white socks on Fridays and the weekends now. I don't know what that makes me then. It's kind of an inside joke on the socks. I see. Don't play with guns, children. Well, adults shouldn't play with guns either. I mean, we all know what they do. Yes, the same socks that Lori Vallow curls her hair with. Oh, dear God. You really have a thing for that woman, don't you, Casbat? That you're hilarious. It's the joke from another live. Well, I try to listen to all of Casbat's stuff, but unfortunately, she, like, Yesterday I left early and she goes live while I'm driving and I can't even know that she's going live. She's my favorite person. Well, I guess we all have to have our favorite people. I mean, it is. You do try, but you're usually at work, LOL. I know. And then I have to just throw in a little slide comment like, I'm sneaking on, just watching at work. And then, although sometimes you go live while I am on our 3 o'clock walk. And then I can actually type for a couple minutes. But then I'm on my phone and everybody's tagging me, yeah, WhiteTiger Unplugged, hi. And I can't tag everybody. I don't understand why they don't let the phone app tag people. I don't understand it. I don't have enough time to and then type out the whole name right and everything to respond to people on the phone. Oh, my poor baby's out there. He's upset that the door's closed. Whisper to me, hey, happy Saturday, everyone. Hi, Whisper to me. How are you? We get when you don't tag. Trust me, I can't do that. The phone app won't let you do it. Like, it doesn't give you the selection. You have to literally, and I don't even know if it actually tags if you actually type it in right. Because I can't, it doesn't show you the orange for somebody else that you're tagging. Yep, it's hard tagging on the phone. And you probably have to have the capital letters and everything just right. Where, if you're on the computer, you just, you start to type their name and boop, it pops up and you click it and boom, there it goes. Or you tab enter it and it throws it in there. So, since I went through the cases that I want to talk about, does anybody want to come up and talk about something else? Or Kaz, do you want to come up and talk about your campaign? Or I'm open to anything right now, because when I get done with this, I'm going to try to record my Jane Doe video. It does if you type the full name in. Absolutely right. Right. That's not on until tomorrow. What's not on until tomorrow? You're not starting your campaign till tomorrow? What? You already started doing it. Cannot stay, guys. I have to go for breakfast. We are in a hotel this weekend. Oh, well, don't miss out on that hotel breakfast, snow remover. Or you're going to go out somewhere decent to eat breakfast. The campaign with the challenge. Oh, that doesn't start till tomorrow? Well, heck, you've been... Oh, so as long as I record it today, I'll be good for tomorrow, right? And Kaz, I was going to upload it on my channel, but I was going to send you... I want to send you the file. You can upload it on yours too. Because I thought if you were making a... if you were making a playlist of them, it would be easier if you had everybody's files, right? Yeah, I'm far from late. Well, that's good to know that I'm far from late, because I thought it was supposed to start like a week ago or something. I've been furiously all week trying to divide my time between gameplay and getting that done. Well, I can upload it, but I can just put your video in the playlist. Well, it's up to you. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I mean, I'm not making it for my own gain. I'm making it, to help you get it pushed out there. And I mean, not that I'm not interested, because I'm definitely interested in this particular one. And I know the more that that we can get done, the more likely we are to be able to find somebody. So, I mean, I'm fine with letting people upload it or do whatever they want. You know, you were talking, I guess we'll go ahead and bring this topic up. You were talking about, now I'm getting warm, the door's closed. I was cold in here before. And Lori, if you're out there, I do have a shirt on. Thank you very much. Every time I wear a yellow shirt, she seems to think I don't have anything on underneath my WhiteTiger snuggie. I can upload yours as an example of what I mean. That's fine. Whatever you want to do is completely up to you. I'll be happy to send you the file when I get done. And but you were talking about YouTube and what they're doing to your channel, and there's actually a channel that I frequent. They do all kinds of stuff. They do like tech questions and stuff. They do they do networking. They do all kinds of stuff. And they have over 10,000 subs. And they finally got the join feature for the membership. Nerfing me, a gamer would call it. Right. That's what I usually call things because I'm so used to my characters getting nerfed, right? I have been under the same frustration since probably before Christmas. And, you know, like I thought, okay, once I hit 100 subs, you know, maybe it'll be a little easier to kind of inch my way up, right? And I kind of seem very stagnant at 107. I've been at 107 for probably almost a month, right? And it fluctuates. It goes down a couple, I gain a couple, but it seems to be stagnating right there. And so when you were talking about that, I was thinking about my same dilemma I've been thinking about. And you know what? I decided that I started this YouTube channel because Wyo and I, for a couple of years, have been talking about how much craziness we deal with in the game and how it would be so much fun to like let people in and see how comical things are for us sometimes and how crazy things get when we're playing the game. And then I was like, okay. And we talked about it. In the beginning of last year, I'm like, you know what? I'm probably going to start it this year. And I said, you know, when I do, we need to make sure that, you know, we group up and, you know, because I wanted him to be a part of it. That's why anytime he's on and we're playing the game together, you know, we try to stream if we think anything interesting is going to happen. But then Maria turned me on to Carolyn's channel. And I've always been interested in true crime. And I was like, well, maybe I can do that too. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to, you know, like do whatever stuff that I enjoy. You know, if we go camping, I'll make a video of that. If we go fishing, you know, I'll make a video of that. If, you know, whatever. And I thought, because this is like something I would enjoy learning how to do and messing with. And so I've kind of decided that I don't really give a shit what YouTube does with my stuff. If they are not going to push it out, if they're not going to, you know, put it out there for people to see, you know, screw them. I'm going to do my thing, and hopefully eventually, you know, my tags are enough that people will be searching for that topic and they'll come across me at some point, and they'll either find me or they won't. And I don't really care because I enjoy doing it. I don't care if I get on here and I'm talking to myself half the time. Sure, a little bit of everything. Whisper to me. Caswood says, "Oh well, that's a nice, healthy philosophy, right?" I didn't start this because because I had some kind of goal or I wanted something out of it. It was really more like, you know, I wanted to start this channel originally to stream my gaming, and I know how terrible the gamers on Twitch are. I mean, there are some nice people, don't get me wrong, but the gamers who have a large audience, they're too harsh even for me, and I'm not really interested in that kind of environment. That's why I wanted to do it on YouTube. But then, of course, I guess it's only natural to start wanting to dabble in making videos. And, you know, YouTube is making it harder and harder for the creators. And, I mean, there are a lot of them that are leaving and moving to other platforms. And, you know, I mean, YouTube is nice in that you can customize. Twitch is kind of nice for that too. I looked at DLive. I haven't actually like tried to stream because it doesn't look like I can like use one of my programs where I have my stuff set up and then have it like transfer over. Casbat said that's what I had to do. It just gets in my way. When I want to do something positive, I don't have the strength to promote it. That's the first time it's been an issue. There's some delicious toxicity on both platforms, right? Well, the thing is, I feel like when I run into a lot of toxic people playing World of Warcraft, we've run into some really great people. I mean, obviously, that's where I came across him. But there's terribly toxic people that we encounter. And it's almost like on Twitch, all those terribly toxic people are all running rampant on the people who are actually good players that you would want to watch. And, you know, because really, I don't like watching people play the game because I enjoy playing the game. But I do understand why somebody would enjoy watching it if they don't play the game. When I'm watching other people play, it's because they're better than me, and I'm trying to see what they're doing better than me so that I can improve. It's, you know, it's never because I enjoy watching them. When I'm watching videos about World of Warcraft, it's usually I'm learning stuff or whatever. It's not. There are some delicious toxicity on both platforms. Yeah, there are, but I don't know. For me, Twitch with the gaming, which is really what I would do on Twitch, because every bit of research that I've done, I came across a guy he has a YouTube channel. He's got over 100,000 subs on his YouTube channel. He's doing really good on Twitch, but what he did was he started out on Mixer making music videos. Brian Clan, you both want me to try gaming. My husband and daughter love it. I'm terrible. You can play Sims 4 with me at the blind. I mean, I feel I want to try gaming. Okay, so here's my suggestion about gaming. Okay, I have like the game that I play, World of Warcraft. The thing that I find, and I think it's why I've pretty much settled with that game. The reason why I enjoy it so much is because if I want to be competitive, I can be competitive. But if I don't, like before I came onto the stream, I was fishing. I was literally fishing. I am working on my cooking on one of my characters, and I'm literally fishing to get fish so I can cook the fish so I can up my cooking. So you can do very monotonous, very, you know, soothing, very, you know, not challenging things. It's got like a little bit of everything. And there's a ton of people that play it. And if you're on a server that is got a decent population, you're bound to meet people and stuff like that. The thing that I have found too in running several guilds in that game is that I have played with people who can be competitive with me and are over 70 years old. I have played with, you know, 9 and 10-year-old kids who couldn't do a thing and needed help. And so, you know, like you had to walk them through. And the thing is that you can do that. So I think what you need to do if you're looking at playing games is figure out what you're interested in, and then, try something that you think is in that area. I wouldn't jump into competitive. The age ranges on MMOs is huge. Yeah, right. And well, I have games. Like, what kind of games do you have? Like, you said you're not very good. Like, you want to try, but you're not very good. You have a PlayStation 4. When my son was young and we had an earlier version of the PlayStation, it might have been PlayStation 2. My son, you know what he was really good at? Hunting games. My dad, now I've been gaming since I was little. Ever since my mom bought us an Atari 800 for Christmas one year. Been gaming ever since. Pole position, at the local movie theater or at the arcade was like my favorite game. But my son, we would buy these games that he thought he wanted to play, and he wasn't very good. And we came across a hunting game that he wanted to get, and we bought him the hunting game, and he was so good at the hunting game because you have to like kind of quietly walk around and stalk your prey and make a good aim and shoot and kill it. My dad would sit there for hours and watch him play this game. My dad never was interested in watching anybody play any video games. So I think you just have to find something you're interested in. Like my mom, she always liked to play Tetris, on the Game Boy, right? She would use our Game Boys and play Tetris. So she likes things like the Facebook games. She likes those. Well, a few of those. And then she likes things like Sudoku. I guess you just have to figure out what it is that you enjoy doing and then try that. I would also look at if you do you have a computer that you could play on the computer? Because there's a lot of games now on the computer that'll let you do a free trial. And even if maybe you don't like that game, you might find that you might like something in that arena. Those color match games help my anxiety. Well, right. It's depends on what you're looking for. You have a Mac. Well, that's fine. Most of the games work on Mac. I used to raid with people on World of Warcraft. The couple, they're pharmacists. That's all they ever played on was a Mac. So you can definitely play games on a Mac. I'm quite sure like Steam and stuff, like I would think those games would be Mac friendly too, because the biggest of the geeks have Macs. The people that can't afford to have Macs have Windows. That's always the way I put it. I hate Windows. But most things aren't very compatible with Linux, so I never had another option. But the Brian Clan, I think you should. I think you'll find I really I think the biggest thing that gaming does for me at this stage in my life is I come home from work and I want to de-stress, and you can definitely de-stress that way. Time to head off, going to take my daughter to horse riding lesson. Oh, well, that sounds like fun. Have a good time. All right, guys. I will try some this afternoon. Yeah. yeah, go for it. You know, you find something you like, start streaming it. Doesn't hurt. The worst that can happen is nobody watches you and you're talking to yourself. All right, guys. Well, I guess on that note, it's been right at an hour. Thank you all for coming. What did she say? I'll check out our games and check back in to let you know. Yeah, absolutely. Let us all know. Yeah, let me know what you're trying out in Discord. I'm interested. I'd be interested to see what you end up liking. And just remember, World of Warcraft, you can play to level 20 for free. That was kind of a shameless plug on my part. I need to get 5 people playing the game with me so I can take everybody to go earn a really cool mount. Okay. Anyway, I have things to do, so I will bid you all adieu. Thank you all for coming. Casbet, thank you for coming again. I'm glad this one seems to be at a time where maybe sometimes you can show up, not my evenings when you're sleeping. I will let you know as soon as I get my video done, and you can tell me in Discord, you know, like where you want me to upload it or where you would, how you want me to get the file to you. And bye, Whisper to Me. Thank you for coming. I will catch you all next time. For those who are watching this on replay, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell button so that you can get notifications. Please hit the thumbs up to help us out. And, of course, share this out to anyone you can. And I will catch you all later. Have a great rest of your weekend. Until next time.